you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Wednesday morning. Today it's the world of sports. Yeah, the Super Bowl is this coming Sunday, but we're not talking about that on this day. We'll be talking about MMA, mixed martial arts. 436 MeTV option 11. Do turn down the sound if you call in. We're back in a moment. This is the World of Sports segment, no doubt about it, here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, and the Super Bowl 48 from the Meadowlands in New Jersey is this coming weekend. You know, I keep watching ESPN, and I watch other stations, and they keep saying that the Super Bowl's in New York. It's not in New York. It's across the river in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, of course, this Sunday at 3:20 or 3:25. Why bother with the details, right? That's just a minor detail. Anyway, all the festivities are in New York, but today we're talking about a different kind of sport. It's not boxing. No, it's not kickboxing. It's not boxing of any kind. It's not even wrestling. It's MMA, mixed martial arts. So you might be sitting there right now scratching your head. What is MMA, for goodness sake? Haven't you ever seen this stuff on ESPN or other networks? MMA, it's the up-and-coming thing. I want to put up a graphic on the screen and show you exactly what mixed martial arts is. The source, my friends, is Wikipedia. Mixed martial arts, MMA, is a full-contact combat sport that allows the use of both striking and grappling techniques, both standing and on the ground, from a variety of other combat sports. Various mixed-style contests took place throughout Europe, Japan, and the Pacific Rim during the early 1900s. Now, the combat sport had developed in Brazil from the 1920s and was brought to the U.S. by the Gracie family in 1993 with the founding, of course, of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC, but now it is called Mixed Martial Arts. It is called MMA. You know what I do want to do before I go to our guest? We do have a piece of videotape. I want to go to that tape and show you just a little bit of what we're talking about, and then we'll get into in-depth about what MMA is. This is a boxing match, or not a boxing match. No, it's not boxing. No, it's not wrestling. It's MMA from, I believe, Vegas. And so you're looking at a local man right there. He is in the dark trunks, and he is fighting ferociously. Part of it is boxing, I guess. Part of it is wrestling, but it's you know, we're going to let our guest explain exactly what this sport is all about. Live in our studio right now is Jermaine McDermott. He is from Fresno. He played football at Fresno State. He's originally from New Orleans, but he came here to Fresno. He played football under Pat Hill. He is now an MMA fighter, a mixed martial artist. He is an expert. He looks like he's in great shape, and I do not want to mess with this guy because he'll take me out in a heartbeat, in a half second. I'm out. Anyway, 436 MeTV option 11. Hey, we'll even get his take on the Super Bowl. Who knows? Remember, if you do call in, turn down the sound. The topic today, MMA. Back with our show in just a moment.
1 Adam 12.
This is Adam 12. It stars Martin Milner as Officer Pete Malloy, Kent McCord as Officer Jim Reed.
1 Adam 12, roger.
This black and white patrol car has an overhead valve V8 engine. It develops 325 horsepower at 4,800 RPMs. It accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. It has a top speed of 120 miles an hour. The automobile has 2 shotgun racks, one attached to the bottom portion of the front seat, one in the vehicle trunk.
You want me to drive?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Do not mess with our guest here today in the studio. Of course, he is a mixed martial artist. Hey, it's a good way to defend yourself if you need to. You know, in this day and age, they talk about self-defense. People are always talking about buying a gun, buying a weapon. Hey, these are the weapons, my friend, right here. They're legal weapons. Jermaine McDermott is my guest today. How are you, Jermaine? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Awesome.
Hey, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
You look great. You look like you're in great shape right now. I got to tell you.
I wish I was in better shape.
Yeah. Well, how so?
Well, I need to drop about 30 pounds before I get my pro debut, and you know, just maintaining that.
Yeah. What's your weight right now?
I'm about 235.
So you want to get down from that?
205.
Really?
Yes.
So how are you going to do that?
Work out vigorously every day.
You do the weights?
I haven't incorporated right now because I'm trying to lose weight. You know, I have a extensive history in sports, played football all my life, and I know that weightlifting actually builds muscle, which muscle weighs more than fat. So right now I'm trying to just drop the fat by doing a lot of cardio and maintaining, you know, my workout, jiu-jitsu, boxing, training.
And that jiu-jitsu, that's part of martial arts, right?
Correct.
It's part of it. You know, I want to put up on the screen some of the strategies of mixed martial arts, and you can kind of comment on these. Sprawl and brawl, what is that all about? I don't understand that.
Sprawl is a wrestling term. It's when somebody tries to shoot in on you to take you down. You sprawl on them in order to defend the shot, and then, you know, you try to turn it into an offensive minded technique to brawl with them.
Okay, what about clinch fighting? What is that?
Clinch fighting refers to mainly when you're holding your opponent, either have an underhook or overhook, which is under their armpit or over their arm, to maintain control of them, and you fight in close quarters.
Yeah, ground and pound. This sounds like you're grounding meat up to eat or something. I mean, what's that all about?
It's a mixture of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. It's basically when you're on top of someone or you're inside their guard, try to get shots on them and try to weaken them by that way. So if I'm on
take
top
advantage of them right there at that point.
Yeah, you have a very dominant position. If I'm in full mount and try to pound them out, get the referee to stop it or submit them.
How about submission grappling? That's
a jiu-jitsu term. It's basically when you're able to choke somebody out or put their body in a position that they don't want to be, such as an arm lock.
You don't really choke them, though, and cut the air off, do you?
I try to.
Really?
Why not?
Oh, okay. Is that part of the MMA strategy?
For me, part of winning.
Okay.
So if I can win by any means necessary.
That doesn't mean you want to kill them.
No,
cut the air off, and maybe they'll throw in the towel. Is what you're trying to get them to do.
Hopefully, before they actually pass out. Yes.
Yeah. Say uncle. I want you to say uncle. Uncle.
That's a great way to look at it. Yes. Yes.
That's what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Not hurt them.
No.
Anyway, all right. Some of the techniques. I want to put some of the techniques up, and then we'll get into some of your boxing matches. We got plenty of video of you. All right. The mixed martial arts techniques to try to get somebody to say uncle. Here it is. Striking, kicking. Knees, you use your knees, huh?
Knees, elbows, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, anything you can do to overwhelm your opponent in order to get them to say uncle.
There's some of the ones that we put up on the screen. You can see them right there. The submission we already talked about. Sweeps, now what is that?
It's a wrestling term. If you're ever familiar with Greco-Roman wrestling, you know, you can do, or judo, you can do hip tosses, you can do sweeps, leg sweeps and stuff like that. That's what they're commenting on.
So it is very similar to Roman Greco wrestling, isn't it? A little bit?
No, it's similar to any kind of full contact martial art sport that you can do, because it involves everything. If you come out,
it involves boxing, it involves wrestling, it involves
kickboxing,
everything.
Wrestling, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, judo, taekwondo, anything that you can come out with, you can do it in this form.
All right, let's roll the videotape. Let's take a look at one of your matches here, and you can comment on what you're seeing here. This match took place where, in Vegas?
In Las Vegas at the South Point Casino. Fighting at heavyweight right here. I was coming in at 225. My opponent was around 250. And
did you win this fight here?
Yes, I did. Well, we had two matches. One was a no contest because I got cut over my brow here, and they wouldn't allow me to go. And then the second one, I won unanimous decision.
What are you doing here? What's going on there? What kind of a move is that?
That's a clinch. That's up against the cage. I just took him down. Now that's more type of wrestling.
You're in the dark trunks.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And there you took a swing at him there.
Yeah, try the uppercut on the release. Right here is where they're stopping it for, because they seen blood, and as an amateur we didn't take blood tests, so you know, when they saw a cut, The cut man said he could have actually closed it up so I can go on, but the referees didn't want to allow it, so they stopped the match.
Yeah, and there you can see the blood. Now, why do they stop it when they see blood? I know that in regular boxing, I mean, I've watched boxing for years, and if somebody's eye is opened up, they don't stop it like that.
Well, they traditionally don't stop it. I'm planning on having a pro debut this year, but this was an amateur event for the Tough Enough organization, and we didn't have to go through any kind of blood test, so that's why they stopped it. It was
okay.
Just a safety issue.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not a pro yet, but you will be.
Yes, I'm planning on turning pro this year.
Okay. Can you make a lot of money doing this?
I'm not 100% sure. I believe you can if you were one of the top names. Right now I'm just doing it because it's what I love to do.
You can still play football, I'll bet, right?
Not at my age, no.
No? How old are you?
33.
33. Yeah, but you look like you're in great shape. Why'd you give up football? Why didn't you go pro?
Well, reason I gave up football was twofold: school and my first son.
Oh, okay.
Reason.
Family.
Yeah.
Family concerns.
Got a real job.
Right, and you have 3 kids to support, so that's quite a job, and you're a full-time father, so that's commendable for you. And but you look like you're in great shape, great athlete. I wish I was your age right now. I'll tell you that right now. And we're talking with Jermaine McDermott. He is a mixed martial artist, MMA. He's going to turn pro. He's a former football player at Fresno State and from New Orleans originally, but ended up here in the Central Valley. We're proud and glad that he is here as our guest today here on Connect with Me. Hey, 436 MeTV, option 11. This man right here next to me has the legal weapons ready. He doesn't need a gun. He's got them right. He's got the guns right here, man. We're back with our show in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Jermaine McDermott is here. He's a mixed martial artist. MMA is the sport, and maybe you're not familiar with it. You don't know what it is. It's a little bit of a mix of boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, you name it. Taekwondo. You can throw that mix in there as well. He's a former football player at Fresno State. You played under Pat Hill. How'd you like playing for him?
I loved it. To go to school and play football, just to be able to play football was a great gift in my life that I can look back on and always have that memory.
Yeah, you played from 1999 through 2002 as a linebacker at Fresno State, and enjoyable experience for you?
Oh, very enjoyable. Got to go places that I wouldn't have otherwise. Got to play in Ohio State, Wisconsin, go to Hawaii. It was great.
Yeah, and I forgot who the quarterback was during those years.
Yeah, the big name, DC.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, David Carr.
David Carr. Yeah. That's right, 1999 to 2002, and he's looking for work now, too. Hey, we got a phone call coming in. All right. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question for Jermaine?
Does your guest know anything about this Muay Thai martial arts discipline that seems to be popped up out of nowhere?
I don't understand the question.
Can you repeat the question, please?
My question is, the Muay Thai, can your guest comment on that? Because it seems to have sprung up overnight, and I have no clue what that is, and can't
I'm not
find
sure I know what that
it.
is.
Well, Muay Thai, it really didn't spring up overnight. Muay Thai is Asian mixed martial art, started in Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's basically kickboxing with a few more weapons such as knees and elbows and stuff. It's a very competitive and hard sport. A lot of MMA fighters actually have a base in Muay Thai because it is a stand-up striking game. So yeah, it's been around for quite some time, and the best Muay Thai fighters usually go to Thailand to train and compete.
Yeah. Now, do you plan on going overseas to fight if you have to when you're
I
turning
hope
pro?
I can stay in America, man. I do not want to travel.
Got to go where the money is, though, right? You got to make some money doing this.
Is there any place more than America?
Probably not, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I hope you can stay here, though.
I love this country, and I don't want to go out. I don't want to travel out. No offense. I mean, I love the world too, but.
No, I know what you mean. You want to stay close to home if you.
Exactly, I want to stay home.
You can have plenty of fights in Vegas.
Exactly.
Why not?
Vegas, Orlando, Texas, L.A., Ohio. I mean, mixed martial arts has sprouted out almost
How did
everywhere.
you learn so much about mixed martial arts and about the culture and everything else and what it's all about? How many years did it take you to learn the terminology and how to fight? And I mean, it's not something that you can just pick up overnight, right?
I've been doing it a year.
That's it?
Yeah. Basically, I played football. I've been an athlete my whole life. And, wasn't happy with my situation and wanted to get back to something that would, give me a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. Yeah. And so I basically moved out to Vegas and started training full-time in Extreme Couture. And but me being an athlete most of my life, pretty much prepped me for the physicalness of what I had to overcome. You know, and I wrestled in high school, so I had some kind of background. I also did boxing out of college just to stay in shape here at Repo's Gym. So, I've basically been around it.
We still have a lot of ground to cover, a lot to talk about here. Let's roll the videotape, and we'll take one more look at some of your other matches as well. You're in the dark trunks here again. So what bout is this, and when did this take place?
This was my first bout. I think it took place in April.
Okay. Of last year. Yeah, 2013. And there's a kick. And I noticed that you're, in mixed martial arts, you're barefooted, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Because you get a lot of kicks, and you also, jiu-jitsu goes down. You can get ankle locks and stuff like that. And if you have kind of support, then it prevents the person from being able to do a lot of things that they can to manipulate you.
You're pretty good here. You took this guy down.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because he's actually a jiu-jitsu guy, and like I said, I've only been doing this a year, so that was the first time I've ever did jiu-jitsu. And I, after the fight, when I talked to him, I pretty much didn't want to do that, but I was able to overpower him and use my wrestling skills in order to control him.
What's the move here? What's the motivation here? You got him on the mat, and what are you trying to accomplish here?
Well, at my first fight, I wasn't really sure what I was going to accomplish on the ground, but since then I see that I probably should have tried to pass and submit him with a jiu-jitsu move, but at this point I was trying to do ground and pound, and I really didn't understand a whole lot of passing technique and stuff like that.
I see. But you learned it over the course of time in less than a year. Well, that's amazing.
Also, watching things, I'm one of the people that can pick up something from watching it. I'll replay it over and over in my head, try to get the technique down of what he was doing. And so I've watched a lot of UFC for many years, and that helped me out learning techniques and things of that nature.
If you had to learn a playbook on defense as a linebacker, you can pick this up.
I mean, pretty much should be able to.
That defensive book is what, about that thick?
Still have mine at home from Fresno State, and I go through it with my sons every once in a while to show them what you have to learn and all the different calls and plays that you need to know.
And it's not memorizing, it's knowing. You had to know that stuff that was in that binder. That's the thing, and it's helped you here.
Yeah, and you also have to be able to adapt on the fly. Sometimes things are not going to go as planned, so you have to be able to use what you know and innovate something new in order to accomplish your goal.
Jermaine, are you ever worried about getting hurt?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a machine.
You have to have strength, agility. What else?
Confidence would be the number one thing. Before you step in the ring, you need to be confident in your ability and what you can accomplish, and not be worried about so much what they're going to accomplish. I think that the focus should be on, you trying to make them fight your fight, and you'll probably win 90% of the time.
I would imagine you're a great athlete on the football field. Do you have to be a great athlete to take part in MMA?
You don't have to be a great athlete. Obviously, it helps. You just have to have the will. A lot of times heart beats talent. So if you have more heart and the two guys are, similarly talented, then the heart will win out. So.
But having the football talent that you obviously had on the football field at Fresno State helps.
Yes.
No question about it.
But that allowed me to go in the cage without having to worry about really being, overpowered.
Or intimidated either.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to intimidate you.
Yeah, well, you'll be amazed. When you're going up against guys, some of my old teammates that were 6'6", 330 pounds, it could be a bit intimidating.
All right, Jermaine McDermott is here. He's my bodyguard for the day here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, 436 MeTV, option 11. Glad to have him here in the building. Back in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here with our MMA expert, the boxer, Jermaine McDermott. And so let's roll another piece of videotape and take a look at one of your matches here. And a lot of people might be, maybe not a lot of people, but some people, let's not generalize, might not be as familiar with MMA as they are boxing. Because in boxing, you score a point or you knock somebody out. How do you do that here in MMA?
Well, one is striking. If you outstrike your opponent, or you
get a point then, huh?
Well, it's not a point system per se. It's sort of like a point system, but it's more because it's collaborative. So if and there's so many different aspects to MMA. If it was all on the ground, like this fight right here was mostly on the ground, then control and dominance comes.
And that scores points for you, right?
That scores points. Also, striking scores points, and there's striking as boxing with your hands, but there's also striking with your knees, elbows when you get into professional wrestling.
And that scores points.
And that scores points. So whoever outstrikes their opponent usually gets that point. Whoever dominates the opponent on the ground gets that point, and then cage aggression. So whoever is more aggressive.
The UFC, which is mixed martial arts too, has often been depicted, I think, in the media as being a brutal sport. And I don't see this as being a brutal sport. Do you?
Not brutal, but very intense.
Okay. What's the difference, do you think?
To me, brutal would be like, I've been approached to do like backyard fighting, and to me, the mindset of somebody that goes into a backyard fight.
What is that?
Basically unsanctioned fighting.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
The mindset for me to go in there will be that somebody is really trying to hurt me, and there's not going to be any kind of help. So I have to go out into extreme in order to protect myself. Whereas sort of like if you were being approached in a dark alley coming from a club or something, you would think that person is probably going to do the most harm to you. So you have to, be able to defend yourself in that way. Whereas this is more sanctioned. You have somebody that's in the cage with you that is looking out to protect both fighters. So you don't have to try to you don't have to try to really hurt this person for the rest of their life. You just want to win. I'm more of a competitor and I'm not a fighter. I want to compete and know that I can compete at this level. But I'm not trying to hurt this person for the rest of their life, All
right, you were born in New Orleans, and you moved here from New Orleans to Bakersfield when you were in middle school. What was the purpose of that move there?
My mom moved, New Orleans, we were in a rough neighborhood, rough area, and it was just a rough life that we were living.
You're not a Saints fan then, huh?
My whole family is. Shout out to the Saints. I grew up.
Niner family.
I grew up right around their practice facility, but I want to win, baby.
Yeah. I understand. And then you, when you graduated from high school there, of course, you played football, basketball, and you wrestled. Obviously, you mentioned that, and then went to Fresno State and
track and boxing.
Track and boxing as well. And so, we have a phone call. Okay. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Yes. I wanted to ask something about the conversation that's going on with the fighter.
Yeah, go ahead. His name is Jermaine.
I thought that he said, I'm not sure, just confirm it. I thought he said that you have to go to Las Vegas to get the kind of training in jiu-jitsu. Is that correct?
No, actually, right now I'm training at Dethroned off of Bullard and Marks, Josh Koscheck's gym, and they have great jiu-jitsu there, training every day. They actually, put me through the ringer, and it's great jiu-jitsu, great wrestling, great all-around mixed martial arts, boxing, kickboxing. So,
is that in Fresno?
Yes, it is. And I also I teach a class myself at Vanguard Krav Maga off of Clovis.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How's that going?
It's going great. Right now, we're trying to grow it. I have a couple students that I teach, just basic MMA.
You teach adults and kids?
Yes, I have a kids class on Saturday at 9 o'clock, and then adults Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for the call. I appreciate it very much.
And you can join that Vanguard Krav Maga on Facebook if you have a Facebook account.
Okay, and you teach these classes on Saturday morning, do you?
Yeah. For the kids.
For the kids, okay. And the adults?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. So what I was going to ask you is, before we got the call, analyze the Super Bowl for us just a little bit. I know you don't care because you're a Niner fan, but yeah, I know, the red and gold. But,
yes,
but how do you see this weekend's game?
Well, I think basically it comes down to one man, and that's Marshawn Lynch. If Denver can stop Marshawn Lynch, I think that Seattle's offense goes through him. I'm not really worried about Seattle's defense because the NFL has catered to offense. Yeah. And being that Peyton Manning is who he is, he can pick apart any defense. So if you can stop Marshawn Lynch from getting scores and open it up for the receivers and Russell Wilson, then they have a pretty good chance.
Okay. Let me ask you a question about kids, because you teach kids MMA. In football, baseball, basketball, whatever the case may be, MMA, are we taking it too seriously with our kids? Are we emphasizing winning too much? From your perspective?
Well, I don't know if you can emphasize winning too much. I just think that you need to focus on letting the kids grow into who they want to become and stop.
In other words, what age do you start pushing, you got to win, you got to win?
I don't think you push, you got to win. I think you push that you need to compete as hard as you possibly can. With my son, he's 11 right now, and actually 10, and he's turning 11 in a month.
What sport does he like?
Cross country.
Okay. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, my son did cross country too. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
I haven't pushed him on football because, it's a brutal sport. And not brutal, but intense, and, you could get damaged physically. But I just want him to have fun and enjoy himself and try to experience as much as possible, because that opens you up to learning about yourself and knowing what you want to do with the rest of your life.
I guess I see coaches so much emphasize, winning and competition and who's going to make the cut so much at an early age, elementary school. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe that's a little bit too young to be doing that.
I think a lot of times people, older parents, are trying to live vicariously through their kids. And, if you didn't make it, then don't make their life about, finishing up your business.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, because I never push my kids to do anything. I mean, my son playing baseball for a middle school this year, I didn't even suggest it. He came to me and said, hey, fill out the paperwork. I want to play baseball. Fine.
And you'll notice that, the kids that do that actually have more of a personal relationship with what they're doing. Yeah. As opposed to somebody pushing them to do it, then they start to feel resentment from it, and it's just a tough thing to do if you're doing it for somebody else.
30 seconds, well-respected person like you, quick advice to parents and kids.
Do what you love, have fun at it, and give it your all.
I appreciate it very much. Hey, I'd like you to come back. Now, when's your next fight?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, when I'm going to make my pro debut. As soon as I know, I'll let you know.
Next fight, will you come back on the show?
Sure.
Did you enjoy being here?
Yeah, I loved it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jermaine McDermott. Thank you. Good luck to you. I wish you, and stay safe in the ring.
Yes, thank you.
Jermaine McDermott, he's an MMA fighter, and we're glad to have him here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. That's going to do it for us today here on the show. We're back again tomorrow with another edition. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances. After practicing law, Raymond Berg fought crime.
You have the right to an attorney.
As a hard-boiled detective on wheels.
Ain't it the truth?
His name is Ironside.
Perhaps you wouldn't mind saying it again.
His name is Ironside.
All right, now you've said it.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.